Friends, it's Patty. Today I'm going to be working in this journal and doing a flip through and talking a little bit about my process. So if you'd like to see that, keep watching. I know I've been a little MIA. It's been a couple of weeks, almost 3 since I've made my last video, but I had a lot of things I needed to catch up on. I kind of felt like having too many things on my to-do list that were just not getting done was kind of stifling my creativity, and for some reason right now I could use all the help I can get as far as being motivated to get creative and do some fun stuff in my art journals. So that's the story there. And then again, I discussed this on my last video, I think, or probably most of my videos, that I wasn't really happy with the direction some of my journals were going in. And I just wasn't feeling inspired by some of the ephemera that I was working with, some of the ideas that I had. I don't know, I felt like I needed something different. And I am, and to be honest with you, I'm really kind of happy about the fact that doing, I think it's in this journal, let's see, might not, yeah, doing this page spread really did kind of set me in a direction that has been making me super happy. I'm just going to say that. Something about these little people, the butterflies, of course, the animals, the large mushrooms, flowers, just all of it kind of helped me. Just a sec. Sorry about that. It's hard to film when my dog is staring at me. So anyway, I just really love the direction that this page spread was going, and I thought, well, let's see what else I can come up with. And the funny thing is that I already had a huge amount of really cool, fun stuff to kind of take me in the direction that I'm finding myself going. Let's just, cut to the chase. Fairyland. That's basically kind of where I've been kind of going. I don't know if it's the books I'm listening to or the music I'm listening to or the people I'm following, but for some reason it's all kind of come together to kind of help me kind of find a really kind of fun place to go. And so I'm going to show you a page that I did yesterday. This is what I did yesterday. And I don't know if I ever shared the before of this, but basically it was a lot of vintage, retro kind of stuff going on. This is vintagey, but it's from this is from a botanical book that I had, and I cut her out of, cut her background out, and she had been in a journal, and I took her out and threw her in a container, of course, and then last night for some reason I decided she needed wings. Now those aren't very big wings for somebody her size, but she doesn't seem to care. So, but I may put some journaling stuff on the back of this. I may not. I don't know. It seems to me that if I were to put something kind of to cover the whole back of her, it would kind of hold everything together a little bit better. But in the meantime, there she sits. And then I've got this kind of situation here where a little bunny that I got from one of my favorite little children's books. So I'm still using vintage, kind of retro stuff, but I'm kind of just adding wings, which I know it's not new. People have been adding wings to things for quite a while, but it's kind of new to me, and it's kind of fun to, it's a fun addition to my usual. I'm just really having a good time with it, because I really love my vintage children's books images, and it's just kind of a fun way to kind of dress them up and kind of make them more fun. And so this is a page spread. So this one you've seen. Let's see, where'd it go? Okay, here it is. So this was one I did last week, I believe, and I've shared this one on my Instagram like this. I shared that on my Instagram. And this book, Daniel Boone, this is an older book, and it has the best color illustrations in it, and so I kept them. And I don't know if I'm going to maybe put something here and use the tree or not. I don't know but I just love the illustrations in this book, and I just don't want to, I don't want to cover them up. Little dog, a squirrel, little bird, a tree. I mean, that's right up my alley. Yeah, they're so colorful. They're so vibrant. So let's get to this. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of full disclosure type stuff. Because I didn't like the direction that this journal was going in, I pulled out some pages. And so this is a pocket page. This is where I'll put ephemera that I want to use in the journal. I don't know if I'm going to mess around with that. That might just become a journaling pocket, page. But here's some of the pages that I tore out. I don't hate these, but I just... This just isn't the direction I want to go in. And so I pulled them out of the journal. And most of the time, like this right here, I tore this out. It got torn in half, and so I glued it to a little piece of paper so I could reuse it. See, if you can look closely, you'll see a tear there. But I don't want to lose the stamp, so that's a good way to save that. But I'm not going to throw these items away. I like them. They're fun. I'll use them somewhere else. But I just wanted to have a little more consistency with this journal. So I took some of this kitschy, vintagey, retro stuff out, and I'll use it somewhere else. I can use it in Happy Mail, other journals. I find lots of different ways of using these kinds of things. So they don't go to waste. But because I tore those pages out, I took it apart because I do have a binding machine that I use. It's a Zutter, and I'm not sure I put it together as well as I should have apparently, but I'll have to fix that. Okay, let's see if I can get that fixed. There we are. All right, back to this. Okay, I have a Zutter binding machine. So what I did is I took it apart, and I had a bunch of painted pages already just sitting around that I've been working with, putting on some tinted gesso, just kind of distressing. And I thought it'd be fun to use them in here in place of the pages that I took out. So these will be interesting to try to figure out how I'm going to use them. And some of these winter scenes, I don't know. I mean, we got snow last night. These might be kind of fun to work with today. Here is a page spread that I started, but I just couldn't figure out. I like the way this came out, but it wasn't working with what I wanted to work with that day, so I had to put this one on hold. Did a little stenciling. Back to this. Okay, so this was, of course, I started with paint scrapes over the text, and then I did some stenciling, and then I highlighted the stenciling with a little bit of pencil. But I wanted to keep him, but I'm not completely thrilled with the way this turned out, but it was a start, and it's a place to put some of my prettier children's books images, and then a little bit of black and white to just kind of balance a little bit. And then this was something that I cut a tree out of a piece of scrapbook paper, and then what I did was I punched it with my Zutter binding machine, and then I snipped the ends so it could pop in kind of like a happy planner, and then decorated the back. I thought this was really cute. This is a poem from one of my fairy tale children's books, and I thought the big bug was kind of fun. But it says, for me bees came by to sing, for me the swallows flew, and I just happened to have put that kind of little embellishment on there. I thought that was really sweet. It's kind of fun when things work out that way. And this is just, it's got lines on the back. I wanted to do some journaling and tuck him back in there. So a little tuck spot, which I haven't done. There's a lot of things I'm doing right now that I haven't done in a long time, but I'm seeing other people do. And I'm kind of excited about getting back into kind of some of the stuff I used to love doing. The wings are new, but other than that, there's a lot of the stuff that's I've been doing for quite a while. I got this from a magazine. Wait, was this a book? Yeah, this was a book. Yeah, this was a book on the forest. Yeah, I bought a book on the forest. I have several. I buy books on with flowers, books on with trees. That's where this came from. This right here, this came from that. And I just cut them out and I can figure out a way to use them. This is actually poisonous too. So I got poisonous mushrooms and a poisonous plant with a deer coming out. And this is from Little Thing magazine that I cut up. And this is from a Japanese newspaper. So I'm thinking that what I'd like to try to do is put like maybe an ingredients list at the bottom of my posts, and so that you can kind of, so I don't have to go through each individual piece, like where did I get that, where did I come from, just in case, say you're at a thrift store and you're looking and you're in the book section. Look for books on with flowers in them, cut them out, trees. I mean, some of the illustrations in the books that I pick up at thrift stores are just amazing. So, you know, I need to kind of, I think, go back to this. So what this is, even though I wrote a blog post about it, and that's linked in the description box, this is just from some scrapbook paper that I bought at Hobby Lobby. Super easy. I just sat, like, when I was done with the day of all the different things that I was doing over the last few weeks, I'd sit down and I would cut up scrapbook paper. I had like 4 sheets of this particular scrapbook paper, and so now I have just a gigantic collection of neutral butterflies. As a matter of fact, let me grab those. Well, that took longer than I thought it would. So in here, so I have it labeled. No, this one isn't labeled, but I'll label it later. So here are, this is my little butterfly collection. And so if I want to put wings on something, I can cut one of these in half. And some of these are from different ephemera packs. So I will pull apart ephemera packs from Tim Holtz, from, oh, I forgot who this one is from. Maybe Vicky Booten. I'm not sure. But, and then I'll cut them out of scrapbook paper. And this one, like this one's out of scrapbook paper. And this one is actually from a botanical poster that I've had for years and years. I think I'm on my second one because I use a lot of butterflies. And this is a digital download from Illustrated Faith. Very, very pretty. And I printed it on clear sticker paper. So I could do that on clear sticker paper. I could do that on cardstock, all kinds of stuff. And this is another one. This is from another scrapbook paper. So I use a lot of scrapbook paper. I think this one was Tim Holtz also. But yeah, I have lots of butterflies. I have one that is filled with the ones that have already been cut out, and I have one that is filled with some that I can still cut out. So I try to keep them separated. I spent this week kind of organizing all of my bits and pieces so that when I'm grabbing it, I know that it's already cut out. So these are all scrapbook paper, all of this. And some of them are edge pieces that, like this one right here was from the edge of the scrapbook page, and I just use it for the edges of my pages. Works out great. So I know a lot of you probably already know some of this stuff, but if you're new to art journaling and you're interested in doing this kind of thing, this is probably pretty good information for you. This is a container that I love. So what usually ends up happening when I'm working on pages is I get what I think is a good idea. And I'll cut things out, and then I'll decide not to use it because of one reason or another. Like I've had this squirrel for years. He still needs a home. There's something about the rotting leaf, I think, that throws me on that one. He's just not super cute. But anyway, this is where I'll keep things that I cut up or work on that I want to use, and then I decide not to. I use something else. But it's kind of nice to know that I have kind of a cool little selection to grab from, to just pop into the page. You know, it's an excellent resource. I spend a lot of time looking for stuff. I mean, I waste a lot of time looking for ephemera, images, just different things, and I think it kind of holds me back when I don't know where things are. Case in point, the butterflies there. So anyway, that was my latest. This is the page I did last week, and let me know in the comments how you feel about kind of an ingredients list of you know, maybe where I get some of my stuff, and because you see the process, but sometimes I don't talk about where I get things. So this was a poster also. There's posters that you can get at some fine art stores. You might be able to get them online. And I'm pretty sure they're copyright free. But I don't sell my journal. I mean, I don't sell this stuff, so it's really not too big of a deal that I'm using images from books and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to sell any of this. It's for my use and my enjoyment. So anyway, so you know what I think? That's about it for the flip through part of this journal. I'm pretty sure that is all I have here. Let me look. So I'm kind of just going to go into a little bit of where I'm at with trying to go back into the art journaling in the way I'm art journaling right now. I'm a little disappointed in... I'm finding myself being a little disappointed, or actually very disappointed in some of the things that are going on in our country, in our world. It's just a really difficult time, and I'm one of those people, I kind of shove it down. I don't deal with it. I just, you know, I pretend it's not an issue, and then it kind of ends up, I think, getting to me after a while, and then I'm like, what's going on here? You know, why am I in a kind of a bad mood, or, you know, why am I feeling down or whatever? And I think it's because I feel like I get overwhelmed. Sometimes I want to know what's going on, but then it's too much, the whole 9 yards. Everybody has their different way of dealing with stress and all those kinds of things. I've decided to give myself a break, or give myself a treat of getting my room set up, surrounding myself with creativity, surrounding myself with things that make me happy, music, books, all that kind of stuff. And it's a culmination of doing that over the last maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, has really helped my attitude. I'm feeling a lot better about stuff. There's a lot of things that I let myself get upset about that I have no control over. And that's really a waste of a life. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of a day. It's a waste of a life. And I would really rather surround myself with people that are upbeat. They're, you know, they have a lot to look forward to. They're using, you know, positive coping skills. That's what this is for me. This is a positive coping skill. Like I said, I may do some journaling in here. I don't know where that's going to take me. Journaling in my art journals is something that I've kind of gotten away from a little bit, because I kind of just want it to be kind of a... I like to think about my journals as being kind of an alternative book. It's like I'm writing a different story in a book, and it's kind of a little fantasy world for me. And so unless it's throwing in gratitude, putting in current events or venting or that kind of thing in these journals, it defeats the purpose for me. So writing things that are negative in my journals kind of defeats the purpose. This is a place I like to go to get away from the world, not to, you know, add into from the world. So that being said, that's just a little bit of background for me. One of the things that kind of got me to the point where I'm kind of going in this direction is I'm following somebody on YouTube, The Unexpected Gypsy, and she has a prompt out right now where she's working with a lot of trees, and I have a lot of books on trees. I even bought a few more books on trees, and that's kind of where helped me get to this point. So that's a lot of chit chat. I hope you don't mind, but I just thought it would be nice to kind of, you know, share a little bit about my process, you know, what inspires me, and why I love art journaling. So I'm going to pick a page spread to work with, and I jump around in my journals quite a bit. That's really pretty. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I love this paper. It'd kill me to have to cover it all up. It's so pretty. This I don't care about. But this is really cute. So I almost think that I'd like to try to do something on here. I like to put a little bit of gesso on my scrapbook paper, but since I have these painted pages, I might just jump in and do that. But anyways, I've got a few things on my desk. I don't know if I'm going to use those or not. I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to see what works, and if I feel like there's something I want to talk about, I'll jump in and talk about it. This is all, I think this is going to be all homes. That was the plan. That was the original plan. I have some vintage gardening books that I get some of these out of. And I just could not get, I just love, you know, I used to just love to look at people's, when I was a kid, I'd love to look at people's gardens. I would just walk around neighborhoods and just stare at gardens and homes and stuff when I was a kid. It's one of my favorite things to do when I was just a little one. And it stuck with me. That's why I love gardening. That's why I love making these floral pages. It's just part of my DNA. I love it. I feel like that kind of works a little bit. Let's see if we can get this to work. So I'm having a problem with the fact that this is cut off. I mean, the original intent of that was it was just a birch. They were talking about it in the book, and so that's where the image ended. And I've just been struggling. I love it, but for some reason when I see something that makes me struggle, it makes me want to work with it. I can't seem to get away from liking that aspect of making art. I have to. And I love, like, the house is small, the flowers are big, the tree is, you know, I mean, there's something about kind of the juxtaposition of large and small things just kind of flowing in and out of each other that makes me happy. That's kind of big. I don't know, see, I always grab things and then I don't use them. For some reason, I'm just really liking the way this looks. Like, what could I put there? Girl. She's going to get wings one way or another. I don't know if those are going to be the wings that I use for her or not. See, if I could, let's get rid of this real quick. So her legs were cut off in the book. She was actually holding something above her and walking. I don't remember. I don't know what the story was. But she could be coming out of some flowers. You know, I think that I want more green. I really like her coming out of flowers, but these pink flowers just aren't cutting it for me. I'm kind of liking the direction this is going in. So I'm going to go ahead and keep working with it and see if I can come up with something here. I don't know if you can tell, but these are one of my favorites. I use them a lot, which is why I bought a second pad of these, because I love these so much I had to have more of them. So before they were discontinued a few years ago, I bought another paper pad. Back when you could use a coupon at Hobby Lobby. These are a favorite. So see how this goes? Let me just show you real quick here. I don't know where we're going with that. But see how I can, You know, that can go inside this area right here. I'm gonna probably not be, after I'm done working with these, filling up my ringed ones, I might kind of stop making these for a while because I am just kind of done with trying to work around these rings. Okay, let's see if this will work. I don't know. I'm not sure about these colors. Granted, I understand that it's an already painted page. And so, and you didn't see the process of me painting this page. I do them in bulk. I'll just get all my paints out, get all my supplies out, and paint maybe six, usually six 14 by I think 11 pages. I don't know. They're on a mixed media paper pad. I have a couple of them. They're different sizes. But I'll just paint like 6 of them, both sides. Do all this stuff. I might do a video on it sometime, but right now I'm kind of just jumping back in, trying to get my legs. But anyways, I paint these and I use up different mediums on it and then go over it with that tinted gesso that I talked about, I think in my last video. And then it's just ready to go, you know. And yeah, it's in a journal that I made, but if you decided to do that, if you do it on a big enough piece, you can just sandwich them together, cut them to the size you want, and then do a stitch. What do they call it? I forgot. It's a particular stitch that you use in to stitch books together. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, super easy. And this is pretty thin. It's actually not super thick paper, so it'd be easy to it would be easy to sew through that. So yeah, and then if you wanted to journal or write a poem or anything, this would be a perfect place. Leave that blank. I'm not, of course, because I don't do that. I don't write in them. So I'm going to try to figure out something I can put down here. So see how? So now it's become a part of the background, but you can still see it. I love birch. But yeah, so now it's become part of the background. I'm using it. You don't see those tops chopped off, and it almost makes me feel like there needs to be something up in there, like it's grown up. So I don't know if I want more flowers or if I even have any greenery. I'm going to take a look. Oh, what do I have? So I have a piece of greenery here that I cut out, and so, I mean, this is all kind of fantasy, right? We're not, you know, this isn't fine art. This is just pieces of paper cut to size, right? But this, to me, is kind of a memory. Just growing up, looking at people's gardens, fantasizing about having a beautiful little home, white picket fence. Everybody, you know, not everybody, but a lot of people, that's kind of their dream. I have always had a garden. In our new house, it's going to be a struggle because we're starting from absolute scratch again, and I'm a little longer in the tooth than I was the last time I started from scratch, so we'll have to see where that takes us. So I'm really kind of liking that. I don't know about that though. I'm going to look around for some options on, oh look, so this is something I cut out for, I thought I was going to use for a different page, of course. I don't think the lemons are going to work, but you know what, let's just take a look. We'll turn the birch into a lemon tree. Why not? So that kind of works for me. Yeah, I'm just going to paste all that down. And then if I can come up with something over here, then we're set. Having things prepped and having a general idea. I always go in a different direction than I thought I was going to start in. It happens every time. But I was determined to use this. So once I get everything laid down, I try to, sometimes I'll take a picture because I'll forget, but I try to like kind of set things aside in the same layering configuration as I'd planned. You know, it's kind of funny. The other day I was watching somebody art journaling, and she said, yes, I use a glue stick because any other wet medium will wrinkle the page. And I was like, that's why I don't use it. I mean, I stopped using some of the wet mediums, and I think it was because it just took so long for it to dry, and then there was all this buckling and wrinkling that was happening with my elements. And you know, you get into a habit of using something for so long that you forget why you started using it. Because I often ask myself, like, I remember when I used to use matte medium on everything, but I also remember it taking me 3 days to do a page spread because everything had to dry. So that's why I use glue sticks. Isn't that funny? Okay, so what next? I think it was the image. I think it was this image that needed to go on there next. If not, I usually have a pretty good, I'm usually pretty good about being able to peel things up. These glue sticks don't dry too terribly quickly, so that's the sign of a good glue stick, is if it doesn't dry too quickly and you can move things around and lift things up. I know there's repositionable out there, but I find that it doesn't seem to glue things down as well as I'd like, so. So I'm happy to say that I have been getting followers, which thank you so much. It makes it so much nicer to talk into a camera, knowing that there's somebody on the other side listening, and the awesome comments, and building a community. And that's the only reason why I do this. I don't do this because I'm going to make money off of it. I just really, really enjoy. I think I've said this in the past on my videos, but it's worth mentioning again. I don't have crafty friends. I don't have friends that are into crafting and paper crafting, and I do online, but I don't in real time. So I feel like I'm crafting with friends when I make these videos. And so as long as I keep getting comments, I will keep doing this, because that helps me know that you're out there and that you want to see more of what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing this anyway. Might as well share, right? Might as well hang out with people. That turned out pretty cute. It's so funny because when I bought the last time I tried to use this lemon group, it was such a disaster. Oh, you know what? I forgot to stick her underneath. See, I knew I was forgetting something. So I forgot to because I forgot to put her underneath there, underneath those flowers right there, and I don't want to tear those up. So there's a fix. I'm pretty sure there's a fix. Because I like the way that turned out. I don't want to mess that up. So what that means is that, see this white right here, I'm not too terribly thrilled with that. So I'd really rather that she was. So hold on. Here. So here is a piece that's the same. And what I could do is I could just blend her in like that. So that's a good fix. So everything's starting to bend it. And a lot of times this doesn't happen too much with these painted pages, but sometimes it does. Even though it's a mixed media paper, it still will bend. And what I tend to do is I'll take some, let me show you. I'll get some wax paper, usually a bigger piece than this, but that's just what I have right now. And I'll give it a little bit of a squirt, just a really little spritz. And then I'll just enough to get it wet again, usually in the back, and then I'll put books on it, and that'll smash it all down, and that'll be great. But that's just kind of something I end up having to do because I'm working with so many different weights of paper, and this is old, of course, that it just has a tendency to just bend and shrink and all those kinds of things. Okay, so we have our fairy. We have our little cottage, and I'm thinking down here we might want to have like some sort of animal creature. I have, let's see. So I'm going to pull this out just because this is stuff that's already cut up. This was sent to me in some Happy Mail a long time ago, and he has never found a home. And he might be small enough to work. See, I like big, small. The only thing is that he's kind of blending into the background a little bit too much. Let me see if I can find a background and see if that'll work. I didn't use any tissue paper on this. What I was thinking the other day that would be fun is to use some tissue paper on a background piece and then put an element on, then put in something on top of that. So I'm going to try that real quick. Let's see. I've got some background pieces in here. Japanese newspaper from long ago, and dictionary page. Let's see if he'll fit on that. Let's just see if that'll, you never know. Let's try that. If it doesn't work, I'll throw them in the container and use them somewhere else. I'm liking the colors. I'm liking how the flowers kind of mimic these a little bit, so that's why I thought he would work. It's not the deer that I was shooting for, but he'll work. I didn't want to cover up too much of that ivy. I'm almost wondering if I should see if that'll pull up a little bit. Sometimes you get lucky. I just want to see if I can tuck that in, how it would look. So I'm going to take a chance and see if I can get some of this up. I don't know. It's the same as that, which you would think it would work, but for some reason I'm not liking it. I don't know if this flower thing's going to work. This is usually, you know, here's the end of the page, and I'm swirling around again. So that's just kind of the way I work. Got a couple of options here that might work. Like, see, this yellow might bring this down. Hold on. Maybe I need some yellow. I love how that comes out. Let's see, how about that? Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it's not award-winning, but kind of the layering process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy down, not that, then put this in, and then not that on top. So let's see if that'll work. All right, well, that was a happy accident, me not finding my little deer that I wanted to use, because I really love bringing that yellow. See, there's a little bit of yellow in here, so that kind of balances that, but it brings the yellow down into here, so it brings the eye and it balances everything. So, you know what? I'm calling it done. I'm going to do a little bit of pencil work, not much. I'm going to let it dry then while I'm cleaning off my desk, and then I'll be right back. All right, another page in my journal. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave comments down below. Let me know if there's anything I missed that you'd like to know a little bit more about. Let me know if you like this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, have a great day. Bye.